So today I want to talk about how you need to be more ruthless as a footballer and be comfortable with being the guy that gives their opinion on certain things, even if it might be the unpopular opinion. Now, what I mean by this is literally become comfortable with being the guy who, criticizes teammates, but obviously in a respectful way, not just being the guy who's like, oh, you're shit, but actually just being respectful, but being comfortable with criticizing your teammates and also demanding a higher level of excellence. If you feel like your teammates are performing down here, be comfortable being the guy who says to them, "Oh, yo, we can do better. We can do better." Like just always just basically just never be satisfied with your teammates, but also hold that standard for yourself because obviously you can't be that guy. You can't be telling people do this, do that, run harder. Make sure the pass is harder if you're being lazy, if you're constantly giving the ball away. So obviously demand a higher level from your teammates and also yourself as well. And also even the coach. If you don't agree with a coach's decision, in my opinion, just tell him. Or if you don't agree with a certain tactic, obviously be respectful to the coach because obviously you don't want him to be like, nah, you're sitting on the bench. But in my opinion, if you don't agree with a certain tactic, literally you don't even have to say it in front of your teammates. You can literally just have a private conversation with the coach and just be like, all right, cool. We're playing this certain formation. I don't think this is working. I feel like we need to do this. Or even it can be to the point where it's like, why is this guy playing? I don't really think he's suiting this position. I think he'll be better in this position. Or even yourself. Even you can say, yo, coach, I know you're playing me in this position and I'm doing the job, but I still feel like I can do better here. Or if we switch the system and we play like this, or you can even tell them, yo, you're trying to play this possession style football, but we don't really have the players for it. We should play more of a counter-attacking style. Literally just certain things like that. Just be vocal. Just be the guy who's, what's it called? Just be the guy who's not willing to hold his tongue, basically. Just say your opinion. Just get it out there. Even if your coach doesn't take it on board, at least you got your opinion out there. Because if you get your opinion out there, at least you can't, there's no sort of resentment. There's no sort of like, all right, cool. You can just say your opinion, see what the coach says, and just move on from there. Instead of you just, coming into training, holding all this negative energy, holding all this, you have all these feelings, all these thoughts of like how the team needs to do better, but you just never like sort of tell anyone, or you never tell your coach or tell your teammates. Maybe one teammate is just pissing you off. Maybe you have this one teammate who's just never passing the ball. But if you and your teammates don't tell him, and you're just holding all this anger and all this resentment for the guy, it's just gonna correlate in bad vibes, and then and then trust me, one day it's gonna erupt, and then that's when all hell breaks loose. That's when you get these. That's when you get these times where in the change room, guys are throwing punches or guys are just shouting at each other, and then you get this instant where two guys have to leave the team or something like that because obviously that sort of anger they've been holding it in for time. So in my opinion, as soon as you feel that something's annoying you, maybe your team is not passing to you, literally just straight away just be like, yo, bro, why are you not passing the ball? Like when you get the ball, release it quicker. Literally, just be comfortable with being that guy, just to being the guy who literally just nips it in the bud. Just as soon as you see that something's not right on the pitch or something's not right with your team or your coach, literally just be the guy to speak up and just basically just not let it slide, because like I said, it just builds that resentment, and you come into training and then it just correlates in just negative vibes. You come into training, you see the person who's pissing you off, and you're just like, oh fuck's sake, like why am I playing with this guy? Or you see your coach and you're like, why does he keep doing this for? Why does he keep playing this formation? Why does he keep doing this? Why does he keep doing that? So at least you just be comfortable with being the guy who just says his piece, even if nobody takes notice of you, even if your coach is like, nah, we're not doing that, or your teammate just keeps doing, or your teammate takes offense to it. Yo, at least you got your thing out there, because at least when you tell that teammate, yo, pass the ball, at least it plants a seed. Because once you do that, it will encourage other people to tell that guy as well. Because once you say, yo, bro, you're being greedy, yo, pass the ball, other people are gonna be like, other people are gonna start agreeing with you. If you ask another person, yo, if you ask your teammate next to you, is it not true that this guy doesn't pass the ball? They're gonna be like, yeah, bro, you need to release the ball. And once everyone's in agreement, that guy's gonna have to look within himself and be like, all right, cool. Maybe I do hold on to the ball a bit too much. Maybe I do too much step overs. Maybe I do this. Maybe my decision making isn't great. Or even with the coach, even if everyone starts saying, coach, I don't think these tactics are good. I don't think this is working. I think we need to play like this. Yo, if everyone's if you're the first one to say it, and then everyone slowly is in agreement, the coach just has to look at it and be like, all right, cool. My players don't believe in the system I'm playing. Let me change it up. Instead of you just being quiet, just being annoyed, just being frustrated, going out there every game thinking, oh, why are we playing this system? Why are we playing this formation? Why are we playing this way when we would be better suited playing this way? And at the end of the day, I remember I was watching like an interview with some NBA player, Jimmy Butler. He was just basically saying that, yo, he was just basically talking about how he was that guy. He was that guy where it's like if he didn't like something, he'd say it, even if it was to the coach. And he had just had that mentality of like, hey, and I just want to say my piece. I just want to say what I believe. And look, the worst thing the coach can do is say no, fuck off, and then it's over and done with, and then you just move on. Like that's basically that's what his mentality was. He was like, oh, he wasn't really scared of anything. He just thought, all right, cool. What's the worst the coach can say? No, fuck off, Jimmy. No, and then you just go back to the training, like.
But I just feel like it's okay to speak your mind. Ain't nothing wrong with it. The worst thing that Brett could have said was "F you," no, and then you just go back to just being quiet. But at least you get to say what you got to say.
It's really not that deep. Just get your opinion out there, so you don't feel that resentment bubbling up, and then it just sort of bubbles up, and then one day, and then you're gonna have that one game where things are going wrong, and then everything's just gonna erupt like a volcano, and you don't want that. You don't want to have that one thing where it just ruins your season. It just ruins everything. Like, because I've seen it happen where there was just one game, and then obviously you can kind of tell maybe we were being a bit inconsistent. Maybe we'd win a game here, lose two, draw a game, win here, and then obviously you just have that one game where everyone's pissed off, you're not playing well, and then everything just erupts in the change room. And then also, I think it's important to create a culture where criticizing people is normal. I feel like the best teams, when you hear about the best teams, when you hear about the Man Uniteds, or even in your league that you play in now, you constantly, the one thing that's common about the best teams is that they're comfortable with criticizing each other. When someone's making a bad pass, they'll tell them. When someone's not really as sharp as they normally are, they'll tell them straight away. All the best teams are comfortable with criticizing them, and I found that with me especially. The best teams I'm always on are the teams where criticism is normal. And that comes from the coach, and that comes from all the players as well. When someone's not having a good game, they'll get people criticize them. When the coach feels, it's not good enough, the coach will scream, he'll shout, he'll criticize the players, and everything's normal because everyone has that sort of understanding where it's not personal, it's just for the benefit of the team. However, the worst teams I've played on is where the coach is soft, and he doesn't grill into people like he should. He doesn't shout at people and really, tell them what to do the way he should. And it's also when players are scared to, criticize each other. Instead of players literally going up to the player and be like, yo, bro, pass the ball. They'll wait till the end of the game. When everyone's gone, and then they'll start, gossiping amongst each other, saying, oh yeah, that guy, he's so annoying to play against. Like, he doesn't pass the ball, he doesn't do anything, like blah blah blah. And then this guy as well, like, he's a centre back, he's so slow, like he's always injured, blah blah blah. Those are the worst things. Those are the things that you don't want to happen. Like, as soon as you see something that's wrong, you should just say it to the person, so that person can improve and just move on with it. You don't want that sort of bickering after the game. And trust me, I admit myself, I was involved in the bickering as well. I'm not gonna exclude myself. I hold myself accountable as well. There were times growing up where I was the guy. I was like, oh bro, I'll wait for after the game. Maybe I'll be talking to one of my boys and I'll be like, bro, that guy's so shit. And then my boy will be like, yeah, I know he's so shit. And then you say, oh, I don't know why he plays, blah blah blah. And then you be talking about it. But when you get to training, you don't tell the guy what he needs to work on. And then you get frustrated. Everyone's frustrated. Your that teammate that you're talking about, he's still doing the same thing. He's still not passing the ball. He's still not doing what he needs to do, and then it's just all bad vibes. And then no wonder you guys are losing the game. Whereas in winning teams, as soon as you say it once to a person, they fix up. If you say, release the ball quicker, and then they start releasing the ball quicker, this is how the winning happens. Because when you actually normalize criticism, it allows for improvement. It allows for a person to go, all right, cool, all my teammates are criticizing me on this part of my game, let me work on it, let me do better. And that's how the team ends up winning. So that's all I've got to say for this vid. I hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.